Yo, what up? Zarek here with Underdogs of Addiction. Today's video, I kind of just wanted to remake a video I'd made before about what does it feel like to snort cocaine. That was my method of use. But I also know what it's like for people to smoke crack. I never did that because of the stigma. I was scared of it, but towards the end of my use of cocaine, I was around people who smoked it once their nose got plugged up, or sometimes they would just smoke it. And basically, I'll talk about that experience as well. But what does it feel like to snort cocaine? I am no way glorifying my use of cocaine, but I just want to educate some people who may be trying the drug or are not as educated on it. First of all, when you snort cocaine, it's not natural to snort things through your nose. So that right there alone, even if you have high grade, clean, uncut stuff, or minimally cut stuff, it's still gonna hurt to some point. It's still gonna affect your nose. Most of the drugs out there, especially when I first started, I didn't do coke for too long. It was about a 5-year period. I got introduced to it late in my 20s and quit in my early 30s. But I had a lot of friends who had been doing it since they were teenagers, and I just heard a lot of stories. And a lot of the stuff that you're getting is cut with, laundry detergent. Stuff is cut with caffeine, paint thinner, dewormer. The list goes on. I didn't understand this when I first started doing coke. I just was like, oh, this is coke. Like, it's great. But then you learn quick. Sometimes you're snorting stuff that's mixed with meth, not shardy meth, but like the powder meth, and it burns, and it hurts. Sometimes, towards the end of my doing coke, I remember doing it one time and I just instantly had a nosebleed, and I never had that happen before. So you don't really know all the time what you're snorting, and it's dangerous to the nose in general. There's a lot of people out there who have all kinds of things, like a deviated septum, and the mucous membranes get destroyed, and all kinds of things, but that's kind of the experience of that, is like you do it, and you feel it really quick, and you have to use the bathroom if it's pretty solid stuff, or if it's cut with laxatives, you got to use the bathroom. These guys are so slick out here, they'll cut it with caffeine and laxative, so you'll feel amped up, or they'll have meth in it, and you'll feel amped up and you'll feel good, but then you'll take a shit and you think, oh, this is great stuff. But a lot of times you're doing really, not so great stuff. In the beginning, before I understood and was naive to everything, I thought it was all great. But the more you do the drug and you find out the reality of it, the less appealing it is, and the more you want to stop doing it. So you hit it, you'll have euphoria for 30 minutes, 20 to 30, maybe 40 minutes at the most, and you're talking nonstop. You're talking like crazy, and no one's listening to each other. Everyone just wants chomping at the bit to speak. Usually you're mixing it with alcohol, and that was just my experience. And towards the end, I was around people who snorting it wasn't enough for them, and they started to smoke it. And that was pretty intense to watch people cook that stuff and use it. And the thing when they were administering it that way, what I noticed is I couldn't keep up with the people that were smoking it. I was trying to keep up with them, and it's a quicker rush, and it lasts probably half as long as snorting one. but its effect is a lot more strong from my friends who are around me. And I noticed the people who smoke crack fiend even more for it, and you actually end up spending more money. And so once I saw people doing that, I never tried it. I never wanted to. I was scared. And that's pretty much right around the time I quit doing it all and went to treatment. But yeah, I mean, I remember going to a friend's house and they had like a little crack laboratory, and they were, people were coming in and out of there like McDonald's. And it was just like people who work normal jobs. And I just saw a lot of people whose lives were in ruins, and some of these people were successful. And I was just like, damn, like this person has like a nice house and has a great job, and they're out here fucking smoking that shit. And it was just a wild experience. And I seen a lot of my friends who went down that rabbit hole with smoking it lose everything, totaled cars, lose homes, relationships. And yeah, at the end of the day though, it's the same drug. It affects the same pleasure centers. And so I don't want to sit here and say one's better than the other. Snorting it and smoking it, it's all does the same damage in the end, just different ways of getting to the same place. That's what I seen, and I saw a lot of crack cocaine psychosis. I'd seen friends of people that I knew that used to snort it, and then they started smoking it, and just how crazy they were, and you couldn't really trust them. And I just knew that I had to get out of that life. And so that's my experience of seeing people smoke it and cook it. I mean, it's, no way am I glorifying this. Everyone who uses drugs and alcohol is using it to try to numb pain, and we have to find better ways to go about numbing that pain. But that's my experience with snorting coke. Usually when I did it, it was in a party setting. I love to go to bars. I love to drink, and drinking was always my drug of choice. And coke allowed me to drink more, because to me, alcohol is like the best elixir, and coke just kind of kept me awake and gave me a little stimulation to keep drinking. But once you start doing it, you don't want to stop. Regardless if you have addictive tendencies or not, if you do it, you're going to want to do more, even if you do it occasionally. It's a very addictive drug because of the short lifespan that it has. Snorting it started out as fun, but it ended lonely. It started out as partying and having fun, and it ended me in my apartment alone doing it by myself and not realizing that the party was over. So that's my experience with doing that drug. And I'll do another video talking about coming down the next day, the hangovers. But thank you.